Right, shalom, shalom. Out here once again on Saturday. Push this truth, man. Prophesy the downfall, the destruction of Babylon the Great, also known as America. And come out here and wake up the hopeful elect. You know, give a warning unto our people. You know, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as other nations. The Lord's about to destroy this place. This place is going to be incinerated. You know, the whole land of America is going to turn into a giant landmass, a giant desert landmass, man. You know, the stream's going to be turned to pitch. The whole land's going to be turned into a burning pitch. You know, now I have to get, warning to our people. Get a warning from me, as instructed by the Heavenly Father. That's what we commanded to, man. Going ye out to the highways and byways, man. Prophesying this truth, pushing this truth, man. And waking up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true people of God, man. The true Israelites that the Bible speaks of, right? First and foremost, like all praises to Yahweh, Mahashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Takadash, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, all praises. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, the Mars Apostles, Great Millstone, 15 citations of the hopeful elect across planet Earth. Yeah, you know, in that time, man, I get back into that Habakkuk, finish what I was speaking about last week. But I want to get into, basic things, man. You know, Elon Musk was in the news talking about America's 1,000% sure. It's 1,000% sure this place is going to go bankrupt and this is going to fail as a country. So we're sure of it. You know, the elites are sure of it. They know this place is going down, so they got to push this new world order. First, we get this one scripture, man, to start things off. Yeah, Jeremiah 28. They prophets that have been before me of old prophesied both against many countries. They prophesy against these countries. The main country is America. And against great kingdoms of war. America's a great kingdom. Babylon, that's what I call Babylon the Great. It's known as Babylon the Great. The scriptures. It's a great kingdom. The hammer of the whole earth. One of the mightiest, powerful military on the planet. You know, funding all types of wars, invading all different types of lands, got bases all inside, different countries. War. Prophesy against war, man. Great war that's coming, World War III. You know? It's coming, it's right around the horizon. China just gave Iran, 400 more missiles, 400 more military missiles, man. You know? So like keeping this war going, man. They need that oil. Everything's over that oil, natural resources. Want to remain the top. Everybody wants to be on that top spot. They're saying that China's going to be on the top spot in America, but that's not true. Israel's going to be the next one to rule, and it's going to come out of nowhere. It's going to be blindsided. That's the power of Yahweh Shmi Yahushai, man. No one on the earth, no one expects, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to be the next rulers of the planet Earth, man. Everybody's thinking China's going to be the next ruler. Top planet after America falls. Everybody thinks, Russia, one of these nations, man, established nations, Edomite nations. But no, people are going to look up. People are going to say, hey, we've erred from the way of truth, as it says in the book of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon 5, man. You're looking up, you're seeing Negroes, Latinos getting beamed up into that big fellowship, man. And they're like, oh man, we have erred from the way of truth. These people that we sometimes had in division, proverb of reproach, man, mocking, rejoicing in our downfall, that nobody expects, Yahushai to be a big so-called black man, afro hair, and God, your creator. People are going to know that the Lord is your creator, man. As black man is your creator. You already know when you see him, man. Yeah, it's Lamentations. 2:15, Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the beauty of perfection, the joy of the whole earth? Yeah, they look at these Negroes, man. You see the homeless, every city you go to, all the homeless people are black men, you know. A lot of these women are becoming homeless, too. Messed up, tattoos all over their face, smoking blunts all the time, doing drugs, rapping about killing, gangbanging. You know, it's the city of perfection, of beauty. We have the curses on us, you know. We have to become the tail in society. We have to go to our enemies, for the heathens, you know, for the one of all things, man. We're at the bottom. So no one's gonna expect, you know, the Negro to rise up and be delivered. No one's gonna expect the Latino, the rulers of planet Earth. That's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. It's gonna come out of left field. The whole, you know, pull the veil over his eyes, man. Reality's gonna hit him like a ton of bricks, you know. All my enemies have opened their mouth against me. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found it. We have seen it. That's the reason why they hate us, man. It's the day that they look for, man. The day of our downfall. You know? Enjoy it while you can, because it's only temporary. The heathens are going to know, you know, that we went in slavery, not for our destruction. You know, they're going to know. That was because of us, you know, because we, you know, disobeyed the Lord, man. That's why we're being punished today, right? Because all my enemies have opened their mouth against me. They have hissed and gnashed their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. You know? They're rejoicing, man. Let's believe these other nations rejoice. They're happy, you know. That's why they kill you and get off. Plain self-defense when they shot you in the back. The Asian guy did that, you know. They're all Confederates. They're all in one league with each other. All these nations, man. They had us in captivity, so no fire, you know, pull that move on. You know, he that leaves in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword, man. That's the scriptures, man. And we were led into captivity all these nations. Right? That's going to be justification for the Lord to put these other nations in slavery under his people, man. Yeah, all our enemies have opened up their mouth against me, man. Yes, so all our enemies, all these nations, so I'm up here to prophesy against these people, man. Yeah, just going back to Jerusalem, I'm gonna get that article too. Not Jerusalem, Jeremiah. Yeah, back in Jeremiah 28:8, prophets that have been before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war, evil, and of pestilence, man. Of evil and of pestilence, man. The great evil is coming to that shit. Everybody knows it, man. And pestilence. You know, all types of diseases are being released right here, man. The latest one is that Scopofia, scope something. You know, and lettuce, you know. Got a C-19 that passed, so yeah, there's all types of diseases, you know, that are coming, that came, went. Bubonic plague, the black plague, that's still around. They have it. And they may release it again. In case of the measles is spiking up out here, you know? So be surprised, man, if these ancient diseases come make a comeback. The bubonic plague, yeah, earthquakes. Japan just had another earthquake out there, you know, a few days ago. You know, earthquakes in diverse places. Those are the things that we have to watch for. Stand upon thy watch, you know, and give the people warning that this time is coming, man. Whether they hear, whether they forbear. You know, most of them are going to forbear. They're not going to care, man. They're going to continue as is. Our people are going to continue as is the day of Noah, man. As in the days of Noah, eating, sleeping, drinking, getting into marriage, you know, without getting themselves right. Then when the time comes, it's going to be too late. That door of mercy is closed. There's nothing you can do about it. But Noah shut the door of the ark. Most High, you know, kept that door shut. The Lord had to, you know, seal that door up. You know, that times of mercy is almost coming to an end, man. You know, Everything's intensified. You saw the distressed nations, the upwards of the people, all those Spanish immigrants that flooded that country, man. So the whole world is at distress. That lets you know who's running the world, man. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn, man. So that lets you know right there who's the wicked of the planet Earth, man. Because the whole Earth is in mourning, man. The wicked is in rulership. That time has almost come to an end, man. It's steadily coming to an end. He's coming down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. Elon Musk knows. Pursuant to this article, he has a short time, man. You gotta get this new world order popping off. You gotta get this chip pushed out, chip up the Israelites, try to offset these prophecies, trying to get his birthright back. That ain't gonna happen, man, because all that was set up in the spirit. Being supplanted for the birthright. So it's really Jacob. He's supposed to rule this planet, man. Rule the galaxy in righteousness. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. People are mourning all throughout the planet Earth, man. That's how you know who the wicked is. And it's given to the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked, man? Esau, man. The so-called white man, man. He's your natural land-born enemy. To you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He's shooting that secret at the perfect, man. He's always trying to come up with ways to destroy you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Always trying to come up with something. CIA programs, man. The crack in the neighborhoods, whatever you're doing that we don't know about. All these different little government programs, man. COVID, set up to kill off you Negroes, Latinos, you got jabs, It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn, man. There's mourning all throughout the planet Earth, man. Everybody's in despair, everybody's hungry, It's not in America, but all around the planet Earth, man. Billionaires, trillionaires out there have to fix up these infrastructures of these different third world countries. They do all that if they wanted to, but they don't want to, Go back to Jeremiah. Prophets that have been before me. That's what the prophets always did. Prophesy against a society. The Lord was about to destroy society. He said to his prophets, chant the players now. They ain't get right. The Lord's going to destroy this place. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries, against great kingdoms, man, of war, of evil, and of pestilence, man. Yeah, that evil, that main evil that's coming, it's a mark of the beast. Chip. You want to implant a chip, microchip inside you, man. Basically, when you do that, you're letting Esau know that you're his master, or he's your master, not Yahweh Shah. And they know the time is coming, man. This is the article out of crypto.com. But it's the same article, but it's published in different publications. I did a video on it the other day that came out of Yahoo Finance. This is just another article, basically the same one. It says Elon Musk warns America will 1,000% go bankrupt and fail as a country. A publication called crypto.com. Digital currency, man. This was dated like 3 days ago. Now, the world's wealthiest person per Forbes, Elon Musk, is well known for his appetite for risks and doesn't shy away from keeping risky assets like Bitcoin on the balance sheets of his companies, Tesla, SpaceX. Now, the there is a risk that he says the United States of America can't afford bankruptcy. A tech tycoon has sounded the alarm over the U.S. going bankrupt and failing as a country unless it aggressively embraces new technologies like artificial intelligence and robots. And so he's pushing the miracles, man, that technology that's coming out now. Yeah, his technology is going to better society. And it's not, man. A lot of that AI and technologies are killing all these jobs out there. Killing all these jobs. That's in the scriptures, man. There was blind you saw sheep, so we'll get that one. Musk appeared on the Darkish podcast on February 5th. So he mentioned this about a few months ago, too. It's coming back. Now, where he reiterated his concern about the soaring national debt as interest payments to the debt exceed the military budget. The interest payments to the debt exceed military budget, man. In fact, he added that the country pays $1 trillion on debt interest payments only. $1 trillion on debt interest payments only, man. That goes into that thick play, man. Talking about in the book of Habakkuk, man. That thick play is laden with thick plague. That's prophecy coming to pass, man. This place is in heavy debt. You know? This is a house of trembling. He said, this is why he said he joined the Department of Government Efficiency. Or DOGE, man. That's why they set up that DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. So to really go through the books and really clean some of that stuff up to find scraps of money here and there that they can save, man, because all the fraud that's going on. They laid off a lot of people that weren't doing work. You know, they weren't really doing nothing. You know, I remember he sent out an email saying, all the government employees, what did you do this week? That's a hard question, man. A lot of people with some of these jobs, man, you know, these office jobs, you know, don't really do nothing. You may have like a couple of hours of actual work for the rest of the day. You just pretending to be busy. You know, them office jobs, really. Some of them, big. So they set up that Department of Government Efficiency. Really go in there and crack down on some of this useless spending. Why? Because America's heavy in debt. You know, America's about to go bankrupt. They got to save money here and there where they can. You know, also all that fraud that they discovered. You know, fraud. They're trying to come down on fraudsters, especially out here in California. Nothing but fraud out here in California. Scams they pull. A lot of these nations pull, man. That's always been a thing, man. When I first came out to California, you see these people driving around these Benzes. You live in North Hollywood, you're driving around in the M3. But you live in North Hollywood, man. Like, how the hell do these people afford this shit? Man? It's scam, man. They bring a lot of harass that. Yeah, you know, Armenians, man. They're running that hospice care scam. They came down on them for that. A lot of these scams these nations be pulling. They come to America and they scam everybody. They got away with it for a very long time. Now America's broke. So they're coming down on them. They gotta get all that money back. You know? The reason why there's all kinds of fraud that Elon Musk guy discovered. Right? There's some fraud that he shouldn't have discovered. You know? The main reason why they pushed him out of that. Discovered some things he shouldn't have discovered. They told him to take his ass back to LA, man. You know, SpaceX. Work on going to Mars, which he ain't gonna go to Mars. You know, that starship is laid in the ocean right now, man. Trying to take a starship out there to Mars, man. Ain't gonna go to Mars, trying to search out the heavens. You know, trying to get the Most High to do away with his people, but he ain't. Trying to search out the heavens, go to these different planets, go to the underwater, you know. Search out the sea, search out the earth. You can't search out the whole earth. You can't search out the heavens, man. That's why that starship is laying smack down in the middle of the ocean right now, man. Right? Yeah, you talk about you can do all that, you won't do away with this. You can get your birthright back. You ain't gonna get that birthright back. Israel's gonna be the next ones to rule the planet Earth, man. You know? This is why he said he joined the Department of Government Efficiency to slow down the bankruptcy of the United States and give enough time for AI and robots to solve the debt. That's how miracles again, man, along with that chip. This new technology where they say they can cure rheumatoid arthritis, but you got to implant a chip in the back of your neck. It's like a chip, it's a microchip. The head, your neck, your forehead, right arm, left arm. Implant that technology in you, you don't believe me when you say that. Cure all these diseases, help you walk again, help the blind see again. Technology, cure these diseases, but you take that chip, get that mark of the beast, it's gonna, give you a disease. So that Revelation 2. Revelation 16. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his bile upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. When you worship the image, you take that chip, MOTB, the mark of the beast, man, you're gonna get that grievous sore. You know? Yeah, that Greek word for sore.
Strong's G1668. Helkos.
Grievous sore. That word for sore, helkos, means a wound. Wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, an ulcer. You know. Cancer, cancerous sore. Read that in the NLT. It says, and the first angel left the temple and poured out his bowl on the earth. Horrible, malignant sores broke out on everyone who had the mark of the beast and who worshipped his statue. Yes, a cancerous sore, man. Trying to use these miracles, this technology, saying that you can take that chip, and then restore sight to the blind, help with the paraplegics, cure you of rheumatoid arthritis, alleviate pain. Really, it's just going to cause more pain for so long. Take that, those that take it, this is really noisome and grievous sore upon those that took the mark of the beast. So yeah, man, you don't want to take that chip, man. That's that deception that he's going to come with. In fact, back in the article, in fact, the billionaire predicted in the post last month that there will be such an abundance of goods and services in the AI age. It's going to lead to a grievous sore, because they're going to use some of his miracles, his technology, thinking that everything is going to be fine, and it's going to heal you of different diseases and whatnot. This is going to cause a disease, like cancerous sore, you know, a grievous sore on your body. Back to the article, it says, in fact, the billionaire predicted in a post last month that there will be such an abundance of goods and services in the AI age, that prices will decline, leading to deflation instead of inflation. There's another concern that the AI race could lead to currency debasement. Currency debasement, right? You know, leading to that chip. As leading countries like the U.S. and China print more fiat currency to fund the AI race, the value of the national currencies will decline. And the value of the national currencies will decline. So where it's going to be a crash, you know? It's going to be that crash. And they're going to have to do something with that money system, man. Bringing that digital currencies. Musk doesn't disagree. They once argued that in contrast to fake fiat currency, Bitcoin cannot be faked because it's based on energy. Well, there is no limit to the number of dollars that can be printed and therefore lose value. But Bitcoin, with its limited supply, remains a valuable asset. Proponents like Musk argue, limited supply, that's, because they just keep printing money and it devalues the dollar, man. But that's because they went off that gold standard. If they just remained on the gold standard, currency would be worth something, They don't want to do that. Now they want to go to this Bitcoin, this digital currency, which is going to be tied to that mark of the beast, right? That was it on that. Basically, that Bitcoin, unlike fake fiat currency, can't be faked, So they want to really push that those digital assets, that digital currency, which is going to be linked up to the mark of the beast. So you can't buy anything or sell anything, at least you have that mark, right? Revelation 13:14. He deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles. Yeah, we just read it. A part of those miracles, that AI, technologies, computers, supercomputers, be able to cure diseases. But that's all deception. We just read curing that deception, curing those diseases. We just read in Revelation 16 that it's going to cause moistening grievous sore upon those that took the mark of the beast. Plus, he says it's going to create jobs and create inflation instead of deflation with the dollar. That AI technology is taking a lot of jobs. This is going to take all these jobs, really. Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. That image of the beast, this is Roman society reincarnated. This is Roman system reincarnated as America, man. Babylon the Great, which had the wound by the sword and didn't live. Yeah, because this is how Roman went down. Esau went down for a period of time, and it was then you got that rebirth. Now we're in that second leg of the Roman Empire, man. Second leg of Esau's rulership, man. Dude, his rebirth, his Renaissance program, man. And now he was loosed again for a little season, That bottomless pit. It's Europe. Revelation 21, when I saw an angel come down from heaven having the keys to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Bottomless pit was Europe. Because of his lack of natural resources, great chain of slavery. Esau was chained up. He couldn't do anything. He had no power. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, bound for 1,000 years. He was bound up under the Dark Ages. Esau calls it Dark Ages. He don't like to talk about it. It really is that the Byzantine Empire. Jake was up there ruling, out there in Europe, Russia, all in places. All the icons prove that. The icons that are set up over there, you couldn't destroy all of them. He did a thing called iconoclasm. He took the images and destroyed them, defaced them, painted them up with white. Crossed out the Lord. Took Caesar Borgia, Cesare Borgia, made him, say that that's the Lord and all that. The iconoclasm period. That's what he did. When he was loose to Little Caesar, as I was talking about. But he was he was bound up. He couldn't do anything. He was under the Israelites in that time. That's why he likes to call it the Dark Ages. And really the Byzantine Empire. Jake was up there, man. And we're gonna go back to that. They cast him into the bottomless pit, shut him up, and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So he wasn't deceiving the nations, but deceived no more, man. During that time period, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. But after that 1,000 years went down, around 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue around that time, 1400s. That's when he came up out of there, man. The Lord sent that bubonic plague, brought down the numbers of Jacob, and Esau was able to rise back up again, man. Renaissance, period. Also known as the rebirth. That's when Esau was loose a little season. We're still in that little season, Esau's on top, but he's going down, man. That's why he's coming down with great wrath, because if he has but a short time. He sees these prophecies too, man. He sees the prophets out there. That's how he knows. That's what the word devil means, deceiver, Back in Revelation 13 and 14. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image should both speak, because that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Part of that worshiping the image of the beast, taking that chip, man, the mark of the beast, right? He calls it all, but this is how it's linked to that money system, that digital currency, right? It says he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. A mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That Neuralink, that's another miracle. Elon came up with it's accompanying the Neuralink. Put that chip inside your brain, the forehead, point that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast, the number of his name. And so they could go buy nothing or sell anything. So it's linked to the money system, man. That's why he's going hard for this Bitcoin and all these digital currencies, man, digital banking systems and all that. You know a whole lot about that because it's tied to this chip, this mark of the beast, right? No man might buy anything or sell anything. Those can be made mandatory. It's going to be made mandatory. Let's flip back to that Revelation 20. Because there will be some martyrs, man. So that's why you gotta get your mind right. Right? You gotta build your faith up, man. This is the time. Worshiping the Creator of the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Because you gotta build your strength up, man. Because it's gonna be a time like no other. The hour of temptation. Back in Revelation 20. Back in Revelation 20 and 4. It's a time jump right here, man. This time. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for a witness of Yahushua, man. Souls that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. So it's going to be some martyrs out there. So it's going to come a time when, you know, it's going to be a bad time, man, out here, man. Those draconian laws are going to be in full effect. Concentration camps be erected all over the place. The concentration camps are already here. Going back to the days of Alex Jones, man. Early 2000s, Alex Jones was hot. He was big. He brought out about the concentration camps all over the place, man. All the souls of them that were beheaded for a witness of Yahushua, man, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead. And I said, yeah, you know, you're in this truth, man. You've been marked, man. You know, you're on a list. Truth ain't no joke, man. You're on that list, right? You know who you are. Right? It says, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark on their forehead. So you out here teaching, you take the chip, you put the mark. Yeah, you're on a list, man. They're gonna come after you. The Lord said He's gonna set up a standard. You know, when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord's gonna set up a standard, man. Most of His prophets ain't gonna be put to death, but some will, man. There's gonna be some martyrs out here, but the Lord's gonna give power to His men, you know. Wherever lot you fall on, you're part of the elect. Hey, you know, you're not gonna fall for. You're not gonna, you know, give in to the system. You're not gonna give in to the taking the chip. You're gonna take that death like a man, man. You know, you get the spirit on you to take it. Right? Deal with it. Either have received His mark on their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years, man. And the rest of the dead lived not again until 1,000 years were finished. And the rest of the dead talking about some other nations, man. Heathen nations, you know, after slavery. You know, they're going to be slavery for 1,000 years, and after 1,000 years, they're going to go back to their lands, to the proper lands, and they're called by their proper names. They're still going to have to pay tribute to the elect. To Yahushua and his elect. You're still going to be up under the Israelites. Yeah, it's that point right there, man. The Lord said, you know, He that lived, He got faithful unto death, like you get crown of life, man. Yeah, it's Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. The Lord said, fear none of those things, man, which you suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. You know, some are going to, you know, deal with that prison, man. You got to deal with them concentration camps. You have to deal with that death. But you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. You know, tribulation, you know, a certain amount of days you're going to be in there. You may get released. The angel may come up there and bust you out. Or you may have to deal with that guillotine, man. But either way, man, you keep the faith unto the very end. Right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Yeah, man. Be faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life, man. Be faithful unto it. The Lord may save you, man. You know, the Lord may give you that spiritual power right then and there, man. That guillotine coming down to your neck, it may just break. You know? The angel come and then bust you out just like he busted out Peter, you know? You don't know, who knows how the Lord's gonna do it. Well, we know what the Lord said. What did the Lord just say? Just be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. You must believe these words are faithful and true, man. He that heareth, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. You know, he that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. He that overcometh, man, overcometh what? His trials and tribulations, enduring unto the end here in Babylon, man. All the way up to the very end, man. You're not gonna be hurt by the second death. You're gonna be delivered, man. He says his troops in day. He goes against the standard. All right? Yes, Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. You'll fear him from, hey, receive that name. Right now, I'm here in the west. You fear that name, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. We're in the west, Western Hemisphere, in America. For the most part, you know, the Israel's scattered all over the planet. The elect is waking up, hopeful elect is waking up all over the planet, fearing the name of Yahushua. And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit will set up a standard against him. What's that standard? That power, man. You know, the Lord giving his men back that power. You know. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression, Jacob, saith the Lord. Yeah, the Redeemer. Well, that was the point. That chip, you know. So he's, hey, Elon says 1,000% sure this place is going to go bankrupt. So, you know, along with those elites, let me get that. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Now remember now, thy creator in days of thy youth, while the evil days come now. Yeah, this is the time now. Get right. Get into this word. Get into this word. Build your faith up. While the evil days come not. The evil days, you know, in the beginning of sorrows. You're seeing it, but you know, all hell hasn't broken out just yet. There's still time. The prophets are still out there on the street corners. You know, the truth is being pushed. We ain't in the family of the word yet. You still log on to YouTube and watch all these videos, you know, Great Millstone, all these different camps, you know, watch the YouTube videos. You still can get the understanding, the knowledge. So remember the Lord now while the evil days come not, man. Because once that family of the word hits, it's done. You know, once the martial law troops are out here on these streets, prophets ain't gonna be out here, man. You're gonna be searching for the word, you're not gonna be able to find it, right? Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the household tremble, so that we just read. You know, days like keepers of the house, you know, those economists. You know, he's part of that money system, man. He's not really you know, he's more of into the tech side of things. But you also have economists and these bankers that deal with the money system directly, you know, that are trembling, that understand this place is about to fall. Just with the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Yeah, that AI, robots, They're gonna take a whole lot of jobs out here, man. Damn near all of them, pretty much. You know, white collar jobs, some of these blue collar jobs. You know, autonomous trucking. You know, lawyer, doctor. You know, they got AI hospitals, man. Yeah, artificial intelligence hospital. Just like in that movie, what's it, Elysium? You know, they have those little medical pods. You just go in and it'll cure you. They'll find out what your disease it'll just cure you. Only the elites had it. The ones that lived up there in that space city, that space station, that was the size of a city. Up there, you know, that's what Esau's gonna do again, man. He's gonna go up to the moon, you know, try to hide. You know, well, not the moon, but to the space station. He's gonna hide out in the mountains, Mount Carmel. He's gonna hide out in these deep underground military bases. He's gonna hide out in the stars. Amos 9 and 2. Though they dig into hell, thence whom shall my hand take them. Into the ground. Hell just goes into the ground, grave, you know. You have those deep underground military bases. So underground, man. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So they're going to try to climb up to heaven. They got the International Space Station up there, man. All hell breaks loose, you know. It's gonna bring them down. The chariot's gonna be up there to bring them down, you know. Though they hide themselves in top of Carmel, the mountains. You got the mountain retreats, mountain bases. You got the whole mountains that open up. Got military bases in there. They got cities in there, you know. Show you that in that movie, Kingsman. Bring that out all the time. Though they hide themselves at the top of Carmel, I will search and take them thence. Though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea. They even got underground bases in the sea, man. You never hear about that. Black budget operations. You know? Thence I will command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Yeah, we got Leviathan down there, man. Leviathan is down there. Let's believe it, man. Esau's probably most likely he doesn't see Leviathan, you know? Most likely. His technology, his telescopes, he doesn't see other planets. That's why he's trying to go out there. You know, probably see other planets, stuff that he ain't really talking about. All kinds of stuff that they don't really bring out to the public. And though they go into captivity, that's the point. Yeah, just that point that I was making about Elysium. You know, the movie, they had a whole city up there in space. You know, retreat to. They're doing the same thing here on this side, in the real world. But this is going to be like a little space station they got there in low Earth orbit. You know, lower atmosphere. They're climbing to heaven. You know, the Lord's going to bring them chariots. It's going to be right there to bring them down, man. Yeah, go back to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. The keepers of the house are trembling, man. You know, Elon, he's into that Bitcoin, man. He's an elitist. You know, he's an elite guy. He's in the know. You know, he's trembling. He just said it. We read an article. He's 1,000% sure this place is going to go bankrupt. That's why we're pushing for these AI technology, thinking that's going to change everything. We're pushing for this Bitcoin, digital technology, so he can push that market beast and all that. The strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. The one thing that AI is going to do is take all these jobs. You know, the economy's going to crash. People aren't going to be able to buy goods and services, even though they claim that goods and services, we just read that goods and services are going to be available and in abundance. Who knows how it's going to go down, man? We just read the scriptures say that grinders cease because there are few. That's referring to jobs and employment, money. There's going to be few of that. There's going to be a whole lot of people out here working. There's going to be a whole lot of people out here surviving like that. At least they take the mark. You don't have to be able to buy anything or sell anything. At least you take that mark. The Lord said, don't take it, man. It's all about that faith. The Lord's going to protect his. Right? The Lord's going to protect his. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. You know, yeah, they have no hope. You know, they're going to give up hope in this place. You're not going to see a future. That's how bad it's going to get, man. The doors of the streets shall be shut. The streets and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Yeah. Open it up, you know. All these buildings are going to be shut, you know. It's like the building behind me, man. It's shut down for business, you know. They're probably going to open up, but it's going to be like that permanently. The door shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low, and ye shall rise up to the voice of the bird, and the music of daughters, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, you know, it just goes into that article, man, we're putting that out. That's about, you know, hey, prophets of old prophesied both against many great kingdoms, you know. War and evil, that's part of that evil that's coming, you know. I think I may just go into that Habakkuk, finish up that Habakkuk from last week. Just want to find something. Because they ain't gonna see a place, they ain't gonna be very hopeful, man, because all hell's gonna be breaking loose, you know. Society collapses, man. It's gonna be a bad day. I have no hope or faith in anything. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 16. It's 6. Like as an arrow which is shot, the mighty archer returneth not backward. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, man. Ezra was asking the question, man. He saw these visions. You know, he got scared. Woe is me, and who will deliver me in those days? Yahushua, man. Your faith in Yahushua, that's what's going to deliver you in those days, man. Yahushua is going to deliver you. Yahushua is going to protect you. Your angel is going to be there to protect you in those days, man. Right? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, beginning of famine and great death. There's going to be mournings, sorrows. We're in the beginnings of that right now, man. There's going to be great death. It's going to be out here, man. Beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? Pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's all you can do. You know? The Lord, He's going to protect you. He's going to guide you. As He's going to say at the end of the chapter, right? What did the Lord say, man? Yes, 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh. Others shall weep and be sorrowful. Others are weeping and sorrowful. When the day of terror comes, man. All hell breaks loose, man. The system collapses. Right? Others shall be weeping, sorrowful. Thou shalt be married and have abundance. You're going to be married and have abundance in that day. That's what you do. The Lord's going to guide you in that day. He's going to protect you. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are set as scourges for amendment. That really, this time of trouble is called the time of Jacob's trouble for a reason. It's for you Jakes, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's who that trouble is for. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of the scourges. It's still not going to change, man. All that shit that they, that's why we're going to sword 2/3 of our people. Destroy these heathens. Put them in slavery afterwards, man. Because eventually all Israel's going to be saved. Israel's going to get right, you know. In the kingdom, we brought up the right way. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, and they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, great confusion. Victuals gonna come cheap, hey. So hey, maybe Elon had a point when he said that. You know, AI is gonna cause inflation or deflation instead of inflation. Who knows how it's gonna go down? But it's gonna be a day of trouble like we've never seen before. That's all we know. It's the scriptures, man. Right? For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So hey, many of them shall perish from the earth of famine. Right? There's gonna be a great famine. An actual famine. You got a famine of the word, and then there's gonna be an actual famine of actual food. And the other that escaped the hunger, the sword shall destroy. So you escape the hunger. You know, your doomsday prep when you got the food stored up or whatever. You know, the sword's gonna get you. Neighbor's gonna bust up in your house and take your food, man. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. There shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. That's the day. That's the day of trouble. Time of Jacob's trouble, man. There's no man that's gonna be comforted, man. You ain't gonna find comfort in man. You're gonna have comfort in the scriptures, though. The scriptures are gonna come to mind, right? What does the scripture say? Wisdom and knowledge are going to be the stability of thy times, man. Well, that's why we're in the time now where you have to build up your faith. Build up in these scriptures, man. This is what's going to comfort you in that day. We just read. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. You know, your woman ain't going to comfort you in that news, you know. If your woman stick with you, your woman probably going to end up leaving you. There ain't no comfort for her. There ain't no comfort for no man. You gotta get comfort from the scriptures, man. Spirit, Holy Spirit, that's what's gonna comfort you in that day. Wisdom and knowledge is gonna be the stability of thy times, man. That's how bad it's gonna get. Yeah, it's Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, the strength of salvation, strength of your salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. The fear of the Lord is going to be your treasure. That's the true treasure in the scripture. The true treasure, you know. Wisdom is the principal thing, you know. All like get wisdom. It's the principal thing. First in your life, right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. What times? The times that I was just reading about. You know, when no man shall be able to find comfort. You're gonna find no comfort in no man. It's gonna be so bad, man. Famine. You know, if famine doesn't get you, the sword is gonna get you. Back in 2nd Ezra 16 and 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall no man to comfort them. And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. You know, there'll be no trim shrubs. You're gonna have weeds popping out off up the crack to the streets. No one to maintain this place. You know, animals will be running around wild. They're gonna escape from the zoo. I Am Legend, you know, driving around the street. You know, all these, you know, the shrubs and the weeds. You know, it's just growing out of control in the middle of the street. Trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? And grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. All places desolate of men. Nobody gather the fruit. Nobody to work. Like I said, there ain't gonna be no grinders. The grinding shall cease because they are few. No one to till the land. No one to pick the fruit. The cities are gonna be desolate, empty, man. Everybody's gonna be running for the hills that time, man. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. You're gonna be desiring to see another man. Everything's gonna be desolate, lonely. You're all by yourself. Like in that movie, World War Z. You know, he said movement is life, you know. Can't just stay in one place. Movement is life. So you're gonna be moving all the time, man. Cities are gonna be desolate. Everybody's out here moving. You know, to find resources, to find shelter, to find protection, to find their families. Right? Yeah, so that one man shall desire to see another, to hear his voice. You desire to see another man, you know? Desire to see someone. Right? You spent your whole life trying to avoid people. And you'll be desperate to see another person that day. You know? Yeah, create all this technology, online shopping, Amazon, just so that because you don't want to get up and go to the mall and deal with customer service, deal with people, you know. That day, you know, you'd be wishing to see somebody, talk to somebody, you know. For of the city there shall be 10 left, and 2 in the field. They shall hide themselves in thick groves and clefts of the rocks. And as an orchard of olives upon every tree, there shall be left 3 or 4 olives. Yeah. Jump down. Let me jump down to verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and they're not slack. Yeah, they're not going to be slack. The plagues are near, you know. That's why I say search the Lord while the evil days come not. Because when they hit, those plagues hit, they're not going to be slack, man. Full force in these plagues, man. The Lord's going to release on this place. Bad times are coming to America. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains can pass her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slack not in a moment. And labor pains when the kid's coming, man. The woman feels that pain and they're not slack. You know? That kid is ready to go. That pain is in full-blown pain, man. And the kid is ready to be delivered. So shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Man. So the scripture is just repeating itself, man. That judgment, really at the day, that's judgment that's coming. Judgment for our people. Scourges set for amendment. Yeah. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Yeah, be as pilgrims upon the earth, like we're saying. The movement is life, you know. You be as pilgrims, getting up and moving one location to another location, however the Lord has it set for you, you know. Whatever it is that we, you know, be pilgrims on the earth. Let me jump down to verse 45. And therefore they that labor in vain, man. Yeah, they that labor in vain. Work your whole life, you know, to get these wonderful assets, big house. You know, you labored in vain. You know, America's gonna be destroyed. America's done for, man. And we're running out of time, man. Worked your whole life, man, building up your digital, your assets, your financial assets, stock portfolios, 401k, all that, you know. Labored in vain, man. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children, man. Yes, strangers shall reap their fruits. It's like you said, you know, those that escape the famine, the sword will destroy. You know, escape famine, you know, you got food all up in your house or whatever. You know, the strangers are going to reap your fruits. They're going to spoil your houses. Most likely it's going to be your neighbor. Your neighbor that you knew for years. Spoil the goods or overthrow their houses. Overthrow your houses. Come up in your house, take what you got. Take your kids. It's like in that movie, The Road. The wife said it, man. Rape her, rape your kid. Rape her, rape your children. That's not how Esau is, man. These roaming militia gangs that are gonna be out here. Martial law troops that are gonna be out here, man. That's what they do in them other countries, man. they that occupy their merchandise with robbery. The more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sins, saith the Lord, for their sins. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. It's now time for you to get right. All right? It's time of trouble, man. I'm telling you. Time of trouble like it's never been before. Never be again. So yeah, you know, if y'all end it pretty quick. Let me jump down to verse 68. For behold, 2 Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. And they shall take you away certainly, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and reproach and trodden under foot. They that consent unto them idols, man. Right? Shall be had in derision, and reproach and trodden under foot. Right? So yeah, man, it's the only protection you have is Yahweh Shai, man. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. A great insurrection, a great uprising against those that fear the Lord. Man. Who fears the Lord? Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They're all the ones that have the zeal for the Heavenly Father, but not according to truth. Christians out here, Israelites, man, Mexicans, Latinos, be in these churches, you know. You believe in a higher power, you have that zeal, but you're all messed up in these idols. You know, you're all messed up. Believe in a white Jesus. Latinos, Negroes too. You know, into these different idols. St. Mary, St. Guadalupe, all that. Worshiping those idols, man. Well, they're the ones that fear the Lord, man. So, but there's going to be a great insurrection upon you, man. Latinos, man, y'all getting the taste of it now, man, with these ICE troops. Tension, breaking up in families. Catching the hell now. You know, you would have been catching the hell. But hey, y'all starting to catch it. You're starting to see that this devil hates you too, right? They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling those, and destroying those that fear the Lord, man. So spoiling, destroying those that fear the Lord. Spoiling, they should be like madmen. Chopping you down in the streets, sending you in concentration camps, killing you in front of your children, killing your children in front of you, busting up in your homes, taking your food, taking whatever you got, spoiling, killing you right there, leaving you. Your body's gonna be cast out like dung, man. Your body's gonna be all over the place. People say the blood is gonna rise up to the horse's bridle. How bad it's gonna be, man. A lot of blood in that day. That's coming. They shall waste and take away their goods, cast them out of their houses. Hey, so you ain't gonna find no sanctuary, no safety in your house. When you have a gun, you know, to protect your family with a gun, you're gonna have a whole band of insurrectionists coming at you, man. A whole band of soldiers coming at you. A whole band of militia coming at you. That one gun that you got up in your house, and hey, you know, you're gonna need a spiritual power, man. You're gonna need a spiritual intervention. You know, you're gonna need some angels protecting you to get through this time, man. cast you out your house. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire, man. Be tested as the gold in the fire, man. Then you're gonna know who their chosen is, man. You just read. And you come in like a flood, the Lord's gonna set up a standard against them. That's in who you know who the chosen are. The one that the Lord's dealing with. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. The days of trouble are at hand, man. The days of trouble, man. Putting on repeat. The ones that are hard of hearing, man. The days of trouble are at hand. The Lord said he's going to deliver you from the same, man. Behold, my beloved. He said, my beloved. Somebody is elect, you know. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. The Lord's going to deliver his elect. The ones that repent, come back to who they are, come back to the nationality, right? Pray for mercy. In these days, man, take this thing seriously. Fear the Lord, really. The ones that fear the Lord. That's when you're going to get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man, when you fear the Lord. We just read, wisdom and knowledge for the stability of our times. Verse 75, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Lord is your guide, man. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt. That's what's going to separate the men from the boys, man. The ones that have that faith, that built up their faith. The Lord will, man. The Lord keeps that faith on you. The Lord will, the Lord don't take that spirit from you. It's where you fold up and you take the chip. Right? You just read, you'll be faithful unto death. And I'll give you a crown of life. It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt. The Most High is your guide, man. How about me? How Shai is your guide. You know, pray for guidance, pray for mercy, you know. That's the only way you're going to get through these times. Yeah, you know, I'll end it on that. I wanted to go into that Habakkuk 3rd chapter, but maybe I'll finish that out Wednesday show, the work after the work. But yeah, it is what it is. Hey, shalom. Shalom, shalom.